Hi, I'm Victoria Gold. I'm 13 and a half. I'm in 8th grade, and I'm from Botkins, Ohio. And I have Tourette's. The first question I have to answer is, what was it like for you when you were first diagnosed with TS? It was really scary at first, and honestly, it was really hard. And even though I didn't know really anything about it, I didn't really know how it would affect me, the more I got to know about it, the more I got to learn about myself, and the more research I did, I found out how it affected me and how to control it, and it helped a lot. But at first I was very scared. The next question is, what are some of your tics? Some of my tics are, I twitch my eyes. I have really mild voice tics. They're really mild though, so you can hardly recognize them. Another tic I have is I pick my arms sometimes, and my tics have gotten so much better over the years. When I was younger, they were so severe, extremely severe, and I could barely control them, but now I've learned how to. Another question is, do you have any associated conditions? If so, what are they? I do have an associated condition. I have OCD, and if you don't know what it is, it's obsessive compulsive disorder, and pretty much what it is it's like a stress and anxiety disorder, and it makes you extremely anxious, and you feel like you really have to, everything has to be perfect to an extreme. Another question is, are your friends at school okay with your tics? What do they think about the fact that you have Tourette's? Well, I'm actually homeschooled, but I have a lot of friends because I'm involved in my church, and I've just met them through different programs. And I think the more that they've learned about my Tourette's and stuff, the more they understand my tics, and the more they start to understand about my Tourette's. But I know sometimes that they still get confused about it because Tourette's is a really, really weird disorder. It can, one minute you can be here, the next minute you can be here with it. But the more they get to, know about it, and the more they learn from me and about me, the more they learn to understand not only my Tourette's, but the tics with it. Next question is, what have been some of your challenges in school? Well, since I do an online school, one of the biggest challenges when it comes to school would be the computer screens. Every single computer screen out there, unless you buy one that is specially made, have really high pixelites in them, and which is, if you don't know what those are what make the screen into little boxes that are invisible to the eye. That are in the screen, that the screen is made out of, but your brain can pick up on them, and that bothers me, and it makes my tics really worse. So that's one of the biggest challenges in school. And along with that, my worst subject is English, and that's another challenge in school because all of the different punctuation and different types of wording and phrases and sentences, it's really easy to confuse me, and so those are two of the biggest challenges for me in school. The next question is, what would you say to another teen or child who have been recently diagnosed with TS? What advice would you give them in general and about school? I would just encourage you, if you have been recently diagnosed with TS, I would just encourage you, I know it's scary, and I know it's confusing, and I know it's different, but I just encourage you, just to keep trying to figure out more about it, do your research, try to find out the things that set off your tics, try to figure out the things that make your Tourette's worse. Once you learn to figure out those things, you will be set to go, and you'll be able to figure out anything about your Tourette's. I would encourage you in school, if you're having a bad day, or if you're struggling academically, I would just encourage you not to freak out, not to be really scared, because people with Tourette's and without Tourette's have all been having a time in their lives, where they've been, having bad grades and, struggling academically. I would just encourage you, if you are struggling academically, just to try, different ways to study. I know studying's not for everyone. I know some people can study and, for a short period of time and ace a test. I know other people have to study for a long time, to be able to even just get a passing grade, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I would just encourage you just to find different ways, different schedules, different plans, different ways to study and to learn. And once you figure that out, the way that works best for you, you'll be flourishing. So I just encourage you with that. How do you stay positive when you are having a difficult time in school or in general with your TS? Well, personally, how I stay positive in school, since I'm homeschooled, it's easier for me to do because I'm allowed to, but I listen to music, and I know not everyone can focus and listen to music at the same time, but I can. I know some people can, but other people you can't. And I know if you go to school, you're not always allowed to listen to your iPod and such, so I would just encourage you then, if you're in that kind of position, I would encourage you just to relax, do some breathing exercises, clear your brain of any negative thoughts, any fears, anything, just clear it out, and just remain positive and think of all the good, true, positive things that help you feel better, and you'll be fine. In general, everyday life with TS, I know it can be hard in sports, hanging with friends, whatever it may be. I know it can be hard, but I just encourage you, just to remember that when you're with your friends or whatever, they accept it. And if they don't accept it, you're just going to have to work on that with them. And, if they accept it, then there's no reason to be fearful when you're around them because they love you and they accept you the way you are. If you're in sports or anything that makes it difficult, I would just push you, just relax again, just don't worry about it. I know it can be hard not to worry, but the more that you just try to accept it and just try your hardest and your absolute best in everything you do, you'll be unstoppable. The next question, well, not really question, but I'm supposed to tell a story of when someone had a reaction that you did not expect. Oh, this is a good one. I like this. Well, a lot of my friends know, but one story in particularly would be about a year ago, almost a year ago. I told one of my best friends about my TS, my OCD, and I was really scared. I was shaking. I was really afraid because I didn't know how she would take it, and I expected her to freak out and to think I'm weird, and I just didn't. I expected her I was ready for her to say negative things, but she didn't. She reacted really good. She took it well. She just told me, she said that I won't be afraid to ever tell me anything, especially something like this, because it's okay and I accept it. And that to me, that spoke a lot to me. And I've had another friend, I told her, another one of my really good friends, I told her, and she didn't freak out either. She accepted it, and, she told me everything and it was okay. And I just accepted that, and I was really happy. I didn't expect those two reactions at all, but I was really happy when they did. Another question is, what would you want other people who don't have TS to know about having TS? What I really want people to know that don't have TS is about TS and people with it, is that the more you try to push us to be your standards of normal, and the more you try to push us to not sick, the more you try to push us, just to reach your standards, the worse that our anxiety, our Tourette's, and our tics are going to get. I just want you guys to know that we didn't choose to be this way, and we can't help it. We were born with it, and there's no way of completely getting rid of it, and, just like you can accept other, diseases and disorders that don't have a cure, we would really appreciate if you'd accept Tourette's that way too, us people that have it, because if you work with us like you work with other people with disorders and diseases, then we're able to help you even more understand. The more you help us with our disorder, the more we'll help you try to understand. something else I would like to say about having TS is it's really hard. Every single day, there's not a moment when something doesn't come up that causes your Tourette's to go off the loop. But, knowing that everything will be okay and having this peace inside, it helps me a lot. And I know people's Tourette's, I know it can help them too. It can help you too because, you're made uniquely and you're made who you are, and it's not, Tourette's isn't just a disorder. It's part of you, and I don't want you to ever have to think that you have to get rid of it to be better or to be good enough, because it's part of you. It's who you are. It's what defined you, it's who made you. And you're not just defined by Tourette's, you're defined by all the amazing things you are, and Tourette's just happens to be part of you, and there's no reason to hate it because you're wonderful. So I just want you to know that that's who you are, and just to keep pushing forward through the good days and the bad, and just to try to be a light to others with Tourette's. Thank you.